What's going on? What's going on, everybody? How everybody doing today? You already know what time it is. Welcome to another exciting episode of One-on-One Talk. It's your boy, Pico the City Brown. Pico Brown, whatever you want to call me, is fine with me. How everybody doing today? Hope everybody's having a good time. Marcus, what's going on, man? It's good to see you up here, bro. Trying to get this mic together. Yeah, there we go. But you already know how it is. Before I get started, any newcomers or any old comers that haven't subscribed to my channel yet on YouTube, feel free to run over there, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button at Pico the City Brown, One-on-One Talk, PTSD. That is YouTube. You can also follow me on TikTok at Pico City. Hit that follow button on TikTok, and also hit the subscribe button and the follow button. Hit the subscribe button and like button on YouTube at Pico the City Brown at One-on-One Talk and PTSD. So, can you hear me? First of all, Marcus, if you can hear me, let me know, man, because microphone got a man of his own sometime, bro. So, let me know if you can hear me. Okay, here we go. Appreciate it. Now, got an interesting topic today. Should you ever change a relationship? Change like, not for the better. I'm not talking about for the better. I'm saying should you change in a relationship? That's meaning to me, I would say no. I know I'm not going to say all been taught that, because a lot of us haven't been taught that. But we can honestly say that, wait a minute. Sorry about that. There we go. I can honestly say that if you change, if you're dating somebody, it's good. This goes both ways, like I always do. Man and woman, don't matter. If you're dating somebody and one person, if you're dating somebody and you come in the door with a beautiful intentions on growing with that person and in love with that person or whatever, and you see that person's not giving 110% or whatever, however they call it, I think you should talk to the person. Talk to them, let them know what's going on, but don't ever change. Don't ever go in a relationship thinking if it goes bad, if he stopped doing something or if she stopped doing something, I'm gonna stop doing it. Because I've always said this out of all my lifespan of being on this earth. If a good person change, it's hard for them to go back to where they were. Because when you change, you're starting to look at that person as if you're not interested in them like that anymore. If you understand what I'm saying. So, why change? Talk about it. If nothing works out, then just say, you know what, hey, this ain't gonna work out between me and you, blah blah this, then the other, and go. Don't ever start doing the blame game. Like, well, hey, he don't do this or she don't do that, I'm gonna stop doing it. And you was already doing this, I'm gonna stop doing it. So now you trying to even the playing field by doing what he do or doing what she do. And then that's when ideas come to the other person's head, like, dang, this person is changing or that person is changing or whatever. And only thing we can say is, well, you stop doing it. Two wrongs never made a right. That even goes in relationships. So we can't pick and choose when we say two wrongs don't make it right, because that goes with pretty much everything. So no, you're not supposed to change what you do. I don't care if you're giving 80% and he's giving 20. You talk to that. You talk to him. You talk to her. Hey, you slacking up on this and that and the other. And first of all, when you're changing, you have to accept accountability. Some people change and don't realize the fact that they're changing. And then when somebody confront them about it, they say, well, what about you? What are you doing? You ain't doing this. Okay, but I'm sitting here and we're having a discussion about where we went wrong at. But then again, at the same time, it's already in your head, like, oh, whatever. Yeah, once a cheater, always a cheater. Well, whatever. He ain't gonna change and nothing like this. But sometimes it all depends on who the person is. It's not worth fighting over. But you can't change and then get into a new relationship. You can't change and say, well, I'm not doing this for him no more. I'm not doing this for her no more. And you get in a new relationship and it starts off good. And if somebody do something you don't like, you're going to go right back to that mentality of, he ain't doing it, I ain't got to do it. And that's how we live in most of us in black culture. That's how we go from relationship to relationship. Well, if he ain't doing it, I ain't doing it. You don't, I mean, let's just be honest, man. You don't get a pass for trying to succeed. You have to succeed to go to the next level. So people just got that bad, man. And that's not just with the black community. That's with all community. I watch it on TV all the time. No, he stopped doing this or she stopped doing that. And then people will say, well, you got to ask yourself, and this is a good question. You got to ask yourself, why? Okay, let's answer that. Well, I'll try to answer that the best way I can. Why? Because maybe one, the person you was with was never like, well, the person you with was never like that in the first place. So if I meet a woman and we kicking it just fine, and she say, you don't hold my hand, and I say, well, babe, I don't mean nothing by that, but I don't hold hands, but you know what? I'll do it sometimes if I can remind myself, or hey, we can do it, but don't expect me to walk in the mall every day. I mean, every time we go out or something, I got to hold your hand, because that's just something I don't do. And then you say, well, in your mind, well, he don't do this. I ain't finna do this. And then when you confront the person, like, man, you don't even rub my feet or nothing no more. Well, why? Because you don't hold my hand no more. See, that's what happens when two wrongs try to make a right. That's why when you get in relationships, when the way you got that person, you're supposed to keep doing it, even if that person fall off. Only thing you can do is talk to them or leave them. Don't stay in a relationship and you got all this ill wind toward this person, because it's only going to make it worse. It's only going to make it worse. Because when you change, guess what happens? And that this don't happen all the time, but guess what happens? Here come the next person getting in your head because you changed. Now you meeting somebody else and you still with that person, but you thinking, hey, this guy's showing me this or this girl is showing me that. I can live a life with him. And then you get with him or you get with her and it's the same thing. So now guess what you did? You changed again. And then you change again. And then you change again. And to get to the fact that you changed so much, you can't go back to what you used to be. You can't, no matter how hard you try, because you always got that doubt in the back of your head, that those two words, one syllable. What if? What if I do this and he don't do this or she don't do this? You can't you can't live relationships off what ifs. The only way relationships work, you have to work at it. If your partner is weak in that era, try to bring him or her up to your to your standards. Hey, you know what? I know you're not a kisser. Jesus, I know you don't like holding hands. I know you're not the sentimental brother, but can you do it at least sometimes? If most of us would go to our wives, husband, partners, or whatever, and talk things out like that, it'll be better for both of y'all. But when you jump to conclusions, and we all know what assumptions are. I ain't even got to say it. Assumption is the mother. We all know that. Then we looking like, where did it go wrong? Where did it go wrong? Nobody. I mean, you know where it went wrong, because I'm in my world. You in your world. So now I see you changing. I have nothing to do. Wait a minute, I lost my train of thought. Now I'm in my world. You in your world. Now there's no reason for me to stay, because your world is just as twisted as mine now. There is no compromising. Well, and the first thing, if we notice this in all arguments and relationship arguments and stuff, when we were growing up, some of us grew up with the same person, lifelong friends or whatever, high school sweethearts. When you have arguments, and even so, I'll just push it up a little bit. It can be people you know that you hear argue. And what's the first thing people do? The blame game. How can you do this to me? And the first thing somebody say to bring their defenses on hold is, you did it too. I stopped doing it because you stopped doing it. So now you might want to be sincere about something, but now you got your guard up because you like, you know what? This person just changed on me. He or she is not the person I fell in love with or I started liking like that. So now guess what? Now you got a problem on your hands. And people, people use that phrase, do unto others as if you have others do unto you. That don't mean relationship wise, people. It don't. But see, we as black folk, we just take things out of context. So if I hurt your feelings, now you have to do something to hurt my feelings. But guess what? The problem never gets solved. It never do. I went out and cheated. You caught me or whatever, and I said, I apologize, baby. I'm sorry, blah, blah, whoop, the bam. And you say, okay, I forgive you. Okay, bam, we get on with our life. The minute I do something you don't like, this ain't even got nothing to do with cheating. We can have an argument. We can do anything. The first thing gonna pop up in your head is, we're arguing. He left the house. He finna go cheat. Because that's what he did the first time. But this time, I'm gonna beat him to it. Now you go cheat. And then you find out, but my forgiveness might not be as lenient as your forgiveness. Just because you forgive me, that don't mean I have to forgive you. But see, people got it all in the uproar. Well, he did it. So now you did it. You got to forgive her. No, you don't. Well, actually, you don't. Because we are adults. We know better than to do things like that. You may have a bigger heart for me and actually forgave me. That's not a guarantee that I'm going to forgive you. So you can't get mad at me if I say you bogus. I mean, sure, you can turn around and say, well, I didn't do that. I didn't say that when you cheated. I took you back. Yeah, but your heart is bigger than mine in that field. It's way bigger than mine in that field. So you can go out there and cheat and pop up with a baby. Although cheating is cheating, but you got more out of yours than I got out of mine. So guess what? Now the baby's coming, and I don't care what nobody say. It takes a strong man to know his girl got pregnant by another man and to still be with that woman. That's tough as nails, man. That's like trying to bend a nail with your teeth. That's just tough. So my theory, don't change. You never change what you are. Like I said earlier, once you start changing, it's going to be hard for you to get back to Mr. Nice Guy or Mrs. Nice Guy or Miss Nice Guy, whatever. It's going to be hard because now you're looking at the world and you're looking at an optical lens of no way. No, he ain't gonna do this to me no more. No, and I know people wear their hearts on their sleeves. Hell, guess what? Nobody's gonna leave this earth when they get old enough to have relationships and don't get hurt. Everybody's gonna get hurt, whether you like it or not. You can try to protect your kids all you want. You can try to protect your loved ones all you want. You're going to get hurt. That's just how life works. So, no. Some people just do things out of spite, man. Some people do things out of spite. He did it, so now I'm gonna do it. But you can't take the pressure of that. So no, you're not supposed to change, man. I know we've been taught, well, some of us, not all of us. I know a lot of us been taught about, hey, do that person the same way they do you. It's called karma. Because what goes around comes around. But just because it goes around and comes around, it might not be the way you want it to come back to you. It might not be. But people have this grand facade of, man, look, I just can't get over the fact that she changed on me. So, man, look, we sleeping in separate beds now. We doing everything separate. I'm going out by myself. You going out by yourself. We get in the house, it's just rock solid quiet. That's because we changed on each other. And when you change on each other, and you got all that anger in your head, it's hard to talk to somebody that's mad as heck for stupid stuff. It's real hard. Because although you can sit and talk to them, their mind's not even on what you're saying. Because they can't get over the fact that you did this. So why you gonna talk about, when you talk about me, talk about you? No, it don't work like that. If I'm coming to you with a conversation about you, wait till I finish. Then we could talk about me. Stop throwing your 2 cents in and it ain't even worth it right now. And we all got that bad. Heck, I've did it a couple of times, but guess what? The older I get, the wiser I get. Say what you gotta say. Maybe if you listen to me, or maybe if I listen to you, it's okay to adjust a little. Not change, but adjust. Yeah, exactly. And that's no problem with adjusting. It's okay to adjust, but people don't adjust no more. People just, he did it, I'm gonna do it too. But you can't point the finger at me. Remember you did this, so I turned around and did it just to let you see how I feel. Suppose if it don't burn me like it burns you. So you went out there and did something stupid. And I say, well, you know what, baby? It's cool. We can work through it. Now guess what I just did? I just blew your freaking mind. I thought he was gonna leave. I thought he was gonna be mad. And then guess what? Here come the waterworks. I shouldn't have done it. It's too late because you can't take back sex. I don't care what anybody say. Once you've been penetrated, it's a done deal. So that's why sex is never an accident. Sex is always premeditated. And when I say premeditated, when people say it just happened, no. Guess what? When he or she call your phone, and I said this before, you gotta take a shower. You gotta pick some clothes out. You gotta pick some laundry out or whatever. You gotta walk down the stairs. You gotta put your coat on. You gotta put your shoes on. Walk down the stairs. Get in your car. Start the ignition. You gotta drive over there. All of that time, you already knew what you was going over there for. So there's no such thing as it just happened. Even if you go over somebody's house or hang out with somebody, and that's not the situation, and you don't know if it's going to happen or not, and somebody make a move on you, it's your choice to say, I don't want to do this. But if you participate, you're just as guilty as that person is. But back to what I was saying. Yeah, adjust is great. You can adjust to things. And I think I appreciate you for saying that. I think that's a very valid point you just made. Yes, you can definitely adjust. But you should not change. Because you got a lot of good people out there. That's why that's why good turns bad. But it's very seldom you see bad turn good, because bad's gonna always overtake good as long as you're down here on this boy. We all know a lot of good people, but man, they like, man, that dude changed, or he for the streets now, or she this, she that. Like I said, everybody been hurt. We all got hurt before. But you can't take your pain out on somebody that wasn't even around you during that time when you was dating whoever or whatever. No, okay, I'm hurt. Time moved on. I'm still hurt. Okay, that's fine. You can keep the hurt. But when I get into a relationship and it's all going fine and dandy, and if he or she get on my nerves, it's going to trigger that hurt, because now that I'm hurt, I don't want to be hurt again. So now everything you do is going to consider to be hurting me. Staying out late. Not answering your phone. Why you answer your phone? Oh man, I was asleep. No, you wasn't. How you gonna tell me I wasn't asleep? I drove past your house. Okay, but driving past my house still don't indicate the fact that I'm in the house asleep unless you can see through freaking walls. Let's just be honest, it don't make sense. Because insecurity is a big thing, man. And when you get when you get on that level of being insecure, well, that's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother outlook on everything. So we got to be careful with that. Stop blaming each other for the mistakes that we do. Sit down, compromise, talk it out. Just sit down and talk it out. And if you sit down with a cool head and talk things out, you'd be surprised how things go. He might say, well, you know what, baby, you're right. Yeah, I know I've been slacking up in some areas. I know that, and I'm sorry, but guess what? I'm going to do better. But if you never talk to them, or if you never talk to her, and you keep letting them go along with their folly, you best believe that relationship's not going to last any longer, because now they looking at it with like I always say, they look at it with a negative lens now. Everything you do, they're not going to like. They're not going to like it. So you're pretty much fooling. Ooh, man, you're pretty much fooling yourself, man. So we got to be real careful when we doing the blame game on each other, because 9 times out of 10, well, I ain't gonna say 9 times out of 10, blame games always backfire, and the ones that always picking blame, they never want to be stand corrected. They never do. That's why you can sit and talk to somebody about their problems and what you don't like. They hear you, but they're not hearing you. That's why when you talk to them, they say, "Well, you did it too." They're not trying to hear nothing you gotta say, because now it's a vengeance thing now. It's a vengeance thing. Yeah, exactly. I said that earlier, Aisha. Yeah, I said that earlier. If talking don't resolve anything, then you just go. Just go. If he say or she say, well, I can do better, and you see that person doing better, guess what you're supposed to do? You're supposed to jump on that freaking bandwagon with them. But you don't, well, I'ma see. Well, you did this, okay, but we're gonna give it 6 more months. No. Yeah, you see me doing the difference, and you see me trying, and you still in the mud like, well, you know what? You trying, but no, it's time to go. It's just time to go, because that person's not gonna change. Remember, we supposed to change for the better, not for the worse. And you also got to be careful with that, because people think they're out there changing for the better, but they're changing for the worse. I see it all the time when I cut on TV, when I watch YouTube and TikTok and stuff, and I see it all the time, even in real life. That's why you don't change. You walk away. You try to find somebody else, or you be by yourself, but you still stick with God, what God made you to be. Just like me going out, and everybody know I never abused a woman a day in my life. Physically, no, I never hit a woman, never did. I never did. Just like me, start going around and just start cold cocking women, bam, beating them up. They're like, Pico, that ain't your style, man. Oh, I'm cool though. It's just something I needed to do. Well, guess what? I ain't talk to her. Forget it. I'm finna go holler at old girl. No, it don't work like that, man. You pick up that phone, man, what's the problem? And if she's falling off in an area, us as men, we have to learn one thing as men. Do not be afraid to talk to your mate or your spouse. Because men, we've been quiet all these years. That's why most women would get away with murder. I ain't talking about actually killing nobody, but get away with a lot, because we don't talk. But woe to the man that talk and you don't change what you're supposed to change. He's got a right to leave just like you do. All this could have been avoided if you would have just stayed in your lane. And that's to me, that's like the lowest of the lowest, man. Well, you did it. You did it, so I did it too. I stopped because you stopped. But you're supposed to be my fiance, my girlfriend, or whatever. You don't stop. This isn't a race to see who's going to make it faster. You don't stop. You never stop what you are. I would prefer to leave than to turn over a new leaf and be something I'm not. Because if I be something I'm not, who knows? I might like being something I'm not. Then I'm going to take that in with the next relationship. And if that don't work, I'm going to take it in with that one. And I'm going to take it in with that one. I'm blaming them, but I'm not blaming myself. And one day I have to sit down on the stool like I'm sitting down on now and think to myself like, man, I've been with all these women, all these girlfriends I had, and they all left for the exact same reason. So guess what? It ain't them. It's me. So now I got to sit down and think like, what did I go wrong at? Well, I am always doing this and blah, blah, I'm always doing that and whoop the bam, blase, skippy, whatever. Okay, I'll change. And she come to me like, man, you know what? I don't like the way you're doing this. I don't like the way you're doing that. Oh, baby, you know what? You're right. And although you know she or he has been cutting up just as bad as you don't say, well, what about you? What you ain't doing? You talking to me? You need to look at yourself. In some cases, that is cool to say. Don't get me wrong. And I'm not saying all cases. I'm saying in some cases. So we got to stop. We really need to stop playing the blame game on each other. You did it, I did it, because two wrongs never made a right. There's a reason people have these sayings, man. This stuff ain't just popped up. This isn't just coincidence. No. If you're going to forgive him or if you're going to forgive her, let it be. Forgive him. Hey, you know what? I forgive you. Let's move on. Let's do this. But I forgive you. And the minute he triggered you and he ain't even doing nothing or she ain't even doing nothing, you go right back to that mentality. Oh, this nigga out here cheating. I called his phone 2 times. He ain't answered the phone. Anything could have happened. He could have got locked up. He could have been in a car accident. He probably asleep. He probably just didn't see his phone go off. So there you go. Then you're driving past the house and sending subliminal messages and opening up new Facebook pages just to see what's going on. Like, man, I ain't even doing nothing. Well, I don't mean it. I'm sorry, but my other relationship, the guy I was with, he was doing all this crap and this and that. I ain't got nothing to do with that. I ain't got nothing to do with that dude. Just like you ain't got nothing to do with old girl that I was with before me and you started dating. We're strangers to this. When we come together, we're strangers to this. We're two strangers working on getting it together, working on getting it right. So that's why the blame game is inoperative. It's stupid. I never liked it because guess what? If somebody's coming to me and they see the wrong in me and they saying, well, Pico, you this, you that. It can be a man, it can be a woman correcting my mistakes. I ain't finna say no, well, whatever, man. I ain't got time to hear this, but you did it too. I'm like, you know what? I'm sorry. You know what? I probably slipped off a little bit, but thanks for noticing that in me. So if you notice it, I know somebody else notice it. So that's cool. But if you come into somebody like, Lisa, I don't see you enough, or this and that and the other. Well, you remember 3 years ago when we got together and you told me such and such and such, we shouldn't see each other every day. See, now you're picking. And he like, dude, that was 3 years ago, but we didn't grow in this thing together and blah, blah, blah. No, I'm just letting you see how I feel. Don't never let nobody see how that pain feels, because if they leave, that's on you. That's on you. I know we black and we all supposed to be super big and strong, but guess what? God gave us all a thing together. It's called feelings in the heart. And we're going to get hurt whether we like it or not. Now, I'm not saying everybody's good. I'm not saying everybody's bad. You got a lot of good people in the world. You got a lot of bad people in the world. But for some strange reason, there's more bad people than good. Why is it like that? Take a look at the world we're in, people. So it's pretty much self-explanatory. Certain things you just can't do, and especially in a relationship, you can't thrive or live to see your partner go through crap. You can't do that. That's your partner. You chose to be with that person. So whatever he do, you got to be there to back that person up. If it's good, if it's a good thing, you got to be back there to back that person up 100%, just like he's got to be back there with you to back you up 100%. I don't care what it is. He can say, baby, you know what? With my tax money, I'm going to start a business. You can't be like, I don't know why it ain't going to work anyway. Negativity, that's all it's about. Why are you going to do that? That's a waste of money. You never know. That man might open up a business and blow up. And he could be a billionaire. And then you sitting on the wayside looking stupid like, damn. It's not worth it. It's really not worth it. The older I get, the more wiser I become. Relationship, you're supposed to build each other up. I don't care if you're black, white, Puerto Rican, black, white, Chinese, it don't matter. You're supposed to build each other up. Sure, you're going to go through trials and tribulations. We all do. But you shouldn't get enough evil in your heart to say to hell with this dude or to hell with her. That just don't make sense, people. So we got a lot to learn. Although the older we get, we grow, and a lot of us, we got a lot of growing to do, and that's not in a bad way. It's just that sometimes we catch on slower than others. And that ain't calling nobody slow or special, nothing like that. I'm just saying. So don't go in relationships thinking you're supposed to change. Only for the better is when you change. Now, unless, like Aisha said earlier, if you're talking to this person and you don't see a change in them, that don't mean you go to the dark side just like them. You just leave. Well, you know what, bam, this ain't working. I wish you the best. I can't be in this no more because I feel myself going dark. So I gotta go. So that's why when people change, they have to sit back and reevaluate themselves because they're going too far. They're going too far. And when you go down that dark path, it's hard. It's real hard to get back to what you used to be. Because when you change, it's not just changing. That comes with neighborhoods. Non-trust issues, insecurity issues, doubts. Where he at? Where's she at? I know he out there doing dirt. I know she out there doing dirt because now you have a black heart. So everything's going to trigger you. Everything. Exactly. Exactly, actually. Nobody want to be happy. Nobody. But me, and I can only speak for myself, I was born a happy dude, and if God allow it, I'm going to keep living just like this. I have ups and downs like everybody else. I have trials and tribulations, but I'm always going to be a happy guy because I know that's not my style to do things like that. You hurt me, so now I got to hurt you. Okay, suppose you hurt her to the fact that you actually broke her heart or she actually broke your heart. Then what? I mean, broke it. Then what? Oh, I'm sorry, but why did you do it? There's only two answers to that question. They both wrong. Why did you do it? I don't know. That's one, because you know why you did it. And two, because you made me do it. How can I make you go out there and do something you don't want to do? No. Well, I did it because you slept with her, so I had to let you feel a burn, so I want to sleep with him. So that's why two wrongs will never make a right, people. That's why somebody got to be stronger than the other, and that's with everything we do. That's with everything we do. When you're in relationships, somebody love has to be stronger than the other person's. That's how it works out. And what I mean by that, somebody has to be more forgiving than the other person. Now, sure, you can put them on your level, but no, one of us got to be higher than the other. And I'm not talking about high in anarchy or nothing like that. I'm just simply saying one of us has to be higher because one of us is going to do something more stupid than the other, and it's going to take that mind to set it free. I'm Pico Brown. I want to thank you guys for listening to my show tonight. I want to thank all my viewers. Like I always say, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, feel free to go over there, hit the YouTube button. It is under the Pico the City Brown one-on-one talk, which is this show. PTSD will be coming back soon, so stay posted for that. When you go to YouTube, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. You can also follow me on TikTok at Pico City. Hit that follow button, and let's all have some fun. I want to thank everybody for listening. And like I always say for the newcomers, if you have something you want me to talk about, throw it in my inbox. It'll be anonymous. I'll just read off the question. But if you don't want to be anonymous, just throw it on my page, and I'll try my best to make it out of a topic. So that's it for today. I hope I didn't take up too much of your time. I want to thank you guys once again for listening. And like I always say, keep God first in everything you do and pray more, because we definitely need him now than we needed him yesterday. I'm Pico the City Brown, signing off saying take care of yourself and each other.